Well, here we are at the wall, and how we put this together, this was really simple. What we used is just 4x8 sheets of foam. You know, when we took it, what we did is we ripped off the plastic. Don't forget that, very important. You have to rip off the plastic, the front and back, so the paint has something to stick to. And then what we did is we put the two together, and how we did that is we used a little bit of the Great Stuff foam, squirted it in the center, put it together. And remember, when you put the wall together, you push the wall together with the Great Stuff in it, separate it, wait a minute, and then push it back together. Because remember, we're using it as glue, not as an insulation. It works perfect. Then what we did is we put duct tape on the back, flipped it around, put duct tape on it, man, and that thing is staying and it's going nowhere. Then what we did is we added a couple of accent pieces here. Now we used some of the scrap foam that was from the center of our cutout, and this is our 1-inch foam, and you can see we just made it a little bit longer, and this comes from your pattern that you'll see. This one was the 1/2-inch foam that we used just to have a little bit more relief, painted it a different color. Then we took the 1-inch foam here and we made all these rocks. We made probably about 60 rocks on this one. And there's no right or no wrong on the rocks. You can make them this big or that big, however you want to make them. We used a little bit of Great Stuff on this, and we took the tiny little nails and we pin nailed them into our foam and instant rocks. And you'll see and notice here what I did is to hide the seam. Right here is I put the rocks kind of over the seam to hide it so it's not so noticeable. Also what we did is we painted our base color, which was the beige, and then we went over it with a little bit darker color, and we used a sea sponge, we used a squirt bottle, and then we used a chip brush. And after we did that, we kind of just blended it out, and we have this nice soft texture right here. Okay, now we're behind the scenes. You say, man, how do you make that wall stand up? Well, I'm about to show you. What we did is we took our 1-inch foam and I cut 6-inch strips, 8 foot long. But once we cut our beams here, again, 6 inches wide, 8 foot tall, we took our Great Stuff, we gave ourselves a bead, and then we put it on. We kind of shifted the foam back and forth a little bit. Remember, we want it to glue, not expand. So that's why we do the shift and the separation, right? Then, as we had it, so it stays in place, we take our little nail here. You see that little nail? And then what we do is you toenail, and that's what we mean by toenail. You go in sideways. So we went in sideways this way and sideways this way. We have a great brace right in the middle of our seam that supports our wall. And then what I did, just to give it a little bit more support, is I gave it a top header. So we measured each one, cut it 6 inches deep, did the same thing with the Great Stuff, same thing with the nail, toe-nailed it in. We waited about an hour for it to dry. Man, we had a solid wall.